Yo, welcome to the Big Take. I'm your host, John Red. Today I want to talk about the Anthony Joshua-Jake Paul fight. So, have you guys ever heard of the term "pick on somebody your own size"? I'm sure you have heard of that term. Within the last several months, Jake Paul clearly has never heard of that term. You know, starting out with Gervonta Davis, who's like, I don't know, 5'6" on a good day, right? Jake Paul's about 6'1", 215 plus if he's not, preparing for a fight. That obviously falls through because of domestic violence issues and getting sued and whatnot from Gervonta Davis, which is unfortunately kind of a pattern, just hitting women. You know what I mean? That's crazy. But now the replacement fighter is Anthony Joshua. So this guy does not pick on anybody his own size, not as of late, right? So obviously the word that's been floating around the internet and social media is mistake. Is he making a mistake? So the first thing I'd like to ask you guys is, would you get your ass beat in the ring for, tens of millions of dollars? I would. Would I enjoy it? Yeah, I probably actually would fucking enjoy it. Thinking about my bank account. Now, the only person that knows whether or not that this is a mistake is Jake Paul. There's some people that are tough, that can't fight. Some people can get their ass beat, and they take it very, very well. You know what I mean? But they can't fight, but they're tough. Like, they'll just keep getting back up, pow, get back up, pow, get back up. Over and over again, just high pain tolerance, some kind. And they have some people that can fight that aren't tough. They'll piece somebody up, easy money. But they get touched, oh my God, right? So only Jake Paul knows what kind of guy he is when it comes to that. And he might think he's one way. He might actually believe he's very tough because of the gentleman that he's fought over the last several years, and he's been taking these shots and handling them very well. But guys, Anthony Joshua 6'6". Anthony Joshua had a trajectory of being one of the best heavyweights of all time, and stuff didn't kind of work out. Right? He took some bad losses, but whatever. He's still a very, 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 very good boxer. He's a real heavyweight, real killer. Real professional. Now, there's zero chance that Jake Paul is going to win this fight. He doesn't have a puncher's chance in a boxing match. And literally, what you do is punch. And he doesn't have a puncher's chance. He can't win. He won't win. He cannot win. The only thing that he can do is prove that he's tough and he's resilient. Now, if the gap is too big between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua as far as skill level is concerned, which is already huge, if it's way too big, he'll be out in the first round. Seconds within the fight, he'll be out. Now, does he have a chin? Can he handle a shot from Anthony Joshua and continue? Because if he can, he's just going to get fucking beat up. All fight. If he doesn't have a chin, it'll end quick. He won't have to take as much damage. But man, if he has a chin, he's gonna get his ass beat all fucking fight. But guys, you gotta respect it. You gotta respect Jake Paul at this point. You know what I mean? When he first started fighting, I know he gets on people's nerves and stuff, but the guy is a driven, strong-minded motherfucker, right? And obviously he's crazy. I think anybody at that level, fighting at that level, even with the people that he's fought, or anybody that can generate tens of millions of dollars, is a little bit off to begin with. Not necessarily in a bad way, but they're already a little bit off. But you got to respect this. You got to respect a guy that's willing to essentially put his life on the line. People have died in boxing matches. Doesn't happen often. It's not a common thing. No one goes into a boxing match being like, somebody might die. Probably won't. But man, Dude's got some balls to take on Anthony Joshua, and if you look at the press conference that they had, Anthony Joshua cannot wipe the smile off of his face. You want to talk about the easiest bag of his career? I mean, the dude could not stop smiling. He can't be angry. He can't. And he's not threatened. He's not threatened by Jake Paul by any degree. Zero fear. It's a joke. And it makes so much sense for Anthony Joshua to do it. And guys, it makes a lot of sense for Jake Paul to do it also. You know, even if Jake Paul gets dragged through the ring and he gets knocked out, he's still going to get another fight, guys. I don't know who. Probably not another Anthony Joshua-esque fighter. Maybe somebody that's a professional that's smaller. Like, you know, Anthony Joshua's 6'6", dude. I don't know if you saw the face-off, but man, you know, Jake looks like a baby compared to Anthony Joshua. But it's going to be a clinic. If it's not a clinic, it's just going to be because Anthony Joshua is taking it easy on him. You know, Anthony Joshua is good enough, and he's skilled enough, and he's so much bigger than Jake Paul that he can really like take it easy on him, and you know, let people think that Jake Paul has a chance, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. There's no chance that Anthony Joshua is going to lose. I'm happy that he's getting this opportunity. Obviously, he fought Francis Ngannou and he slept him after Francis had a very good showing against Tyson Fury. Thought that he was actually going to beat Tyson for a minute. It looked like it was headed in that direction. We thought Francis was like, this guy, he's just a freak athlete, freak fighter. Then Anthony Joshua came through and he's like, nah, he's not. Different sport, whole different sport. All boxers do is box. You know what I mean? And MMA fighters have such a, they have such a big plate as far as skill sets that they have to perfect. It's just too much to do in order to be a great boxer. A great boxer, you just can't be. It's just not enough time in the day. But I'm looking forward to this fight 100%. I'm sure it's going to get a lot of eyes. I'm happy for Anthony Joshua. I'm happy for Jake Paul. It should be a bloodbath. It'll either be a bloodbath or it's just going to end really quick. But anyways, guys, I'm John Reds. This is Big Take, and I'm going to bye.